Mic check, mic check, mic check. Motor Masters Podcast, your host, Maine, of course. Back with another episode, man. It is late. It's like maybe 12, I don't know, 11 something, 11 something at night. First and foremost, I want to thank all my supporters, all listeners, all the people who share the podcast, all the people who commented, everybody who, even today I had some people go ahead and cash at me who bought a sweatshirt, the new sweatshirts. You can get the old ones too. You can get these ones as well. But the newer one, if you saw it in a couple videos ago, we still pushing those right now. So I'll push that throughout the end of the year until it's not sweatshirt season no more. So hit me up for those. Those are 25 a piece. Just hit me up inside. I'll give you the cash app. We'll do it that way. Probably the easiest way right now. I want to be more involved in that process. I think last time I did it, I wasn't fully involved in it. I don't care to sell merchandise, but I do like to support. That's a good way to measure support and a good way to measure other things that I do want to indulge in soon. And I think those are good gateway measurements, at least, to just kind of see what you can do. If I want to sell something, if I want to sell tickets, I want to do a show, I want to do something like put some merch out there first. If people buy the merch, they're probably supporting anything else you're doing. So definitely shout out to y'all for the continuous amount of support that I get week in, week out. Uh, I don't know. I like to say thanks to people that support the show and support the podcast. I like for my audience to feel immensely involved in what I'm doing as far as the podcast is concerned, whether it's topics, whether it's guests, whether it's just commenting and the type of content I'm putting out and how well I'm doing or how better I'm getting at speaking, podcasting, transitioning, things like that. And I feel like people don't have to do it if they don't want to do it. They don't have to do this. Like, you don't have to see that they don't have to subscribe to the YouTube, right? So they don't have to subscribe. They don't have to like the Facebook page. They don't have to comment on the video. They don't have to share a video. They don't have to like a video. They don't have to message me and say, yo, this was inspiring, this was dope. They don't have to do none of that stuff. They can like this stuff from a distance and not do nothing at all, and I'll never know. So when I'm saying thanks and something like that, it's really just because I really want to say thank you to the audience. I'm really saying thank you to um, this relationship that we build week in and week out. And as I put content out, I always say since I first started podcasting in 2016, my thing was once I had my first rough patch, the first couple months of podcasting, like, okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do little by little. I'm gonna go ahead and get a listener every episode, just one a piece, one. And obviously, I probably fell short of that, ain't no telling. But it's a goal. It's a goal. And I do realize that podcasting is different now, which I'll get into in a little while. But when I first started, it wasn't as one lucrative as it is now. It wasn't as popular as it is now. And all the resources that we have now weren't there. So when I first started, my whole goal was I'll just get one at a time. Like if I put an episode out, hopefully I get one. Have a certain guest on. Hopefully that guest brings someone who wants to listen and support the podcast my way. So I'll gain them that way. It's always a long game. It wasn't never short. Like I'm gonna put this out. This clip gonna go crazy. I'm gonna get a lot of. I never had that thought process ever in anything I put out. That's never been a thought process of mine. And nothing wrong if you had it or if you do that. I'm strictly speaking about me. But I say all that to say that I want to continue to say thank you and all the time I'm doing my thing out loud because I feel like first and foremost I want y'all to when y'all listen to my messages. Let me slow down. When y'all listening to my messages, I can put my nighttime voice on. Put my nighttime voice on because it's late night anyway. So when y'all listen to my messages, right? I'm probably gonna talk slower now. I want anybody that's listening to first feel welcomed. Like feel welcomed. Feel welcome. I'm gonna say thank you, but I want you to feel welcome to relax. Watch the show. Listen to my fall. Listen to audio wise, whatever you listen to, how you want to do it. But I want you to feel relaxed. I want you to feel welcomed. I want you to feel appreciated while I'm giving you this message or while I'm thinking out loud. I want you to just cop a squat, sit down in Indian style, whatever. That's the vibe I'm trying to bring. I feel like you set the tone. When you're younger, you do these things called essays, whether it's a persuasive essay, you gotta have a thesis or something like that, and you do the whole essay sandwich or the paragraph. You got introduction, you got the body, you got the conclusion. So my introduction is always to make the audience that's listening feel welcomed. That's always my intro. I want y'all to feel welcomed. I want y'all to feel like, I want y'all to feel what I feel. I want y'all to feel appreciated. I want y'all to feel like, damn, okay, he do like the fact that I said this last week, that I gave him this last week, that I shared this, that I supported this. So I'm saying thank you. I'm saying thank you for those reasons, and it's just over time it grew, and it's something you do. When I say mic check, um, Morning Masters podcast, your host mate, of course, that's some over time I just did. I shout out to Kim Macon. I did an episode with him one time. We was at way before, speaking of privilege and stuff, we can get to later on, way before podcasts had privilege and things of that nature in there, and you had to go find a spot to record out on your own. I would do it at the school, at a college, Augusta State University. I would sneak in there and go ahead and get a room, in a study room, and do my podcast there. Sometimes I had to bid out a room. I had to sit there until somebody finished studying to go in that room to do a podcast. But that's not what we getting to yet. And he hit me up. He said, "Well, we in the room." He goes, "Why don't you say? I thought you were gonna say it's your host mate, of course." And I was like, "Why you said that?" He was like, "Cause you always say that." Me not knowing, you know what I'm saying? I don't know that. He just happened to do that. So things like that, you build it over time. So when I'm sitting here and I'm saying thank you and I'm talking to the audience in the beginning, it's really solely because of y'all. And then I'm also still gathering my thoughts because, like I said, it's be a thinking out loud. I'm not sitting here with a book or a pamphlet or anything in front of me, and with a list of notes. It's just I'm talking as I go on. I feel like when I stop, I stop. When I don't, I don't. I just keep going. And then, like I said, it's really a free thinking. This is real therapeutic for me because it's just free thinking. I'm just throwing out ideas. There's going to be times where people don't agree with me, and there's going to be times where people really do agree with me. But it's just my thoughts. It's like no different from me driving around and just releasing my thoughts. So, if you haven't already feel welcomed, sit down and we're going to talk. You know what I'm saying? So, I wanted to address that first. Let me drink some. Well, I can't pour none right now. Let me pour something to drink real quick. All right. So I know I just said I was like, podcast at one point didn't have privilege, right? So one of my favorite songs right now is 21 Savage and Drake. They got the project they put out, but it's called Privileged Rappers or Privileged, I don't know. But they talking about privileged rappers, and I think it's a lot of privilege in just media in general right now, right? And I can speak locally because I think that's the easiest way. And like I said, somebody feel away, that just feel away. But I know last week we talked about award shows and things of that nature and getting recognized and stuff like that. And I think when people don't get recognized, they of course you naturally feel away. It's you want to be the best. I would hope you want to be great at something. You want to feel like your what you feel like is hard work isn't going unnoticed. You want to feel like your efforts are being seen. Understand, I can 100% understand that people put a lot of work behind the things they're doing, and you deserve to be recognized for that. I would never take that from nobody. However, in in a lot of entities and just a lot of things, it's a lot of privilege there that wasn't always there before, and I think that has to be taken into effect when we think about things like who's good at this, who's good at that, and this, that, and third. Not to say that if you're privileged you can't be good, because you can have a hit song. You can have a hit song and you get TikTok famous, right? And you can go on and really be good, and nothing wrong with that. I can't knock it because you got famous off TikTok, right? But at the same time, you got artists, a lot of in longevity, and then just and when you organic and genuine outbreak, just a artist really forming themselves, a movie star really forming themselves. People go through like what I would consider like a boot camp, so to speak, of things before you get to a certain level. Like a person just don't wake up and go to the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody has that privilege, and the people that do aren't that great. The great NBA players, the people that really stand out in a profession, usually had to build their way up. build their way up. This is anything. If you work in a company, all right, you work in a company and you go into that company at a top dog and you didn't really build your way up. A person that built their way up in the top dog may manage better than you, may be better at you in that within that company because they know a little bit more about the grind to get there. That grind to get a certain place is like it's a lot of beauty in that. It's a lot of beauty in the struggle. That's what it's called. A lot of beauty in that struggle. You struggling, you trying to get to a certain level, and not to diss anybody that's like new in podcasting. Because one thing I can say for me, anybody can vouch for it. If you're a new podcaster, if you just podcasting, I am like, I'm always willing to help anybody. Ain't one person that can sit there and tell you, yeah, he hated or he said no or he didn't do no. I help everybody. I bring them to the studio. I show the equipment. I let you borrow the equipment sometimes. I'll do I'll produce for you for free. I'll do a consultation. We can sit down and talk about some things and do a test run there. I've done it for years. I've always done it. I've never turned nobody down. So I feel like I'm at liberty to talk about some things I'm talking about without anybody taking it as, you know, feeling away about what I'm saying. But I feel how I feel, and I'm gonna just speak on it. You know, I don't like privilege. And when I say that, it's like people feel entitled to feel like they deserve to be at a certain plateau. We all could be on this level. I'm just saying they deserve to be recognized like this person, but you ain't putting in work like that person. And it's not to like ish on nobody, but like for me, and I'm not, and I'm only using me myself because I feel like that's just what I should do because I'm not going to bring somebody else in this. But for me, and for my time I've been doing this, and for the years I've been doing it and how I've been doing it, I'm not sitting here saying I'm here and somebody's here. That's all subjective, opinion based. I'll let other people do that. We could all be on the same level. We could all be on level one. That's fine with me. But just know like the amount of things I did to get to level one just makes me more comfortable on that level than the average person. That's all I'm saying. And I think a lot of times people see the grind. People see that hard work. People see the consistency. People see how easy you make it look. I'll do a podcast with somebody on Wednesday night and you have clips and everything up by Thursday. It's a lot because I've been through the grind of podcasting. I've been doing this for so long that a lot of this stuff is like second nature to me. I'm not. I don't have the privilege of. I've never had the privilege of like had to learn this stuff on my own. My mixer I use had to learn that on my own. I had to learn what them buttons mean. I had to learn how to. It's a lot of trial and error in that. I had to mess up a lot of episodes that probably could have been good. Audio messed up because I gained too high. You know what I'm saying? Like the audio messed up because I ain't plugged the mixer in. So now I got some camera audio. Horrible. I've had some very I had some very misfortunate mishaps. In relation to podcasting, which I know other podcasters have done the same thing. You deleting all your camera stuff, all your memory cards. So now you got the audio, but you ain't got the video, or vice versa. You got the video, you got the audio. You come into a spot, you about to record. Damn, where my microphone's at? Damn, I left my microphones at home. Can you give me 30 minutes? I get my microphones real quick. I'm driving way across town, come back across town just for microphones. Just for microphones. I've been in the podcast where I'm recording anything set up. I feel like I don't hear somebody. XLR cord ain't working no more. You mind if I go get an XLR record real quick? I go across town, come back across town, got an XLR card. So, and I'm not to say that you have to go through them things, but me going through them things is why I move the way I move and how I'm able to be as comfortable as I am putting out a shit ton of content or just stand in front of this camera and talk to y'all for a certain amount of time without no notes and nothing like that. Just conditioned, Did Fire and Ice, which we had to do 2 hours. Contractually, we did 2 hours. First hour we do it one way, second hour another way. Damn, we only got 3 topics. How we gonna talk for 2 hours? We'll make it work. I'm conditioned to keep a conversation going podcast wise. I'm conditioned for all that. So when it's dry space or when it's not a guest is not doing right or not speaking right, I'm able to pick apart that. I'm able to bring it back to speed. I'm able to know in the episode how to prolong the episode, how to gauge these questions, ask it here, lead it up. It's a bunch of things that go into that you know what I'm saying. I feel like people. I ain't saying people get privileged now in the sense of like they ain't putting their own work in, but like you got a Slim, You got a me, you got a, a Kim Macon, of course. You got a Mo. You got a Swag. DJ Swag was my last episode, by the way. So go make sure go cop that DJ Swag episode. Go watch that DJ Swag episode. Cop the sweatshirt, but DJ Swag episode. Um, it's so many people that, like I said, when we first started this stuff, it was nobody else around to really show us or show people this is how you do it. At the time, I'm blindly blind. So even when Slim came out, it's me. I'm probably at the time the podcast that's got the most tenure, or whatever. I can't tell Slim how to do something really. I mean, I can show him what I'm doing. We can talk about it, but it ain't no real like. I can't give him like, hey, this is my fan base here. I'll put you on. I did do that, but I mean, I can't give him a fan base. It's not like now where, you know, somebody can start a podcast and locally or whatever, go on Slim podcast, and now his audience gonna watch that person's audience because he done built his audience up. So you get the privilege of his audience because you were on his podcast, and that was not a thing back when we first started. Slim has a very unique backdrop. You see that backdrop, you think Slim automatically because of how he put his work in. He put his work in to make sure that backdrop is Slim. And you see that backdrop, that colorful backdrop he got, you see Slim, right? You think Slim. So you have a few, podcasts who are privileged enough to like, he produces their podcast. So when they see that background, oh, that's Slim. They don't know what they're watching sometimes. They're going to watch it off the rip. So some people even got to grasp it because they're going to see it just because of their background. So that's like kind of like a privilege, what I'm saying. Like, so it's when I say this stuff about privilege, I think I don't want anybody to take it as like it's a diss. It's not, but I'm just saying like it's not as if, you have to go out and get it and really get it on your own. And it's a difference in that. Ain't nothing wrong with something being handed to you or something like, being, I guess, passed down or whatever it can be, or somebody watching your stuff because of a connection with that, because that's networking. That's networking. You have a guest on your podcast and it's a real popular guest. That person brings people to your platform, whatever, and hopefully out of the amount of people they bring, you get 10%, 20% of the people, dope. Whether it's 5 people, whether it's 100 people, whatever, you get a few of their audience. That's fine. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's networking. So the same thing is networking. It just wasn't around at the time. And so a lot of times, what I'm saying is to say like, I don't feel like I'm better than nobody. I don't feel like nobody podcasting wise is just so much better than this person. I think you have people who found their niche. They found their niche. You know what I'm saying? They are very comfortable in the type of content they're putting out, and they're not typically always trial and error. They're not trying things out. It's like, this is my content. This is the type of podcast I got. This is what I'm going with every week. So it's comfortable. Then you got some who they still trying different things. They're not sure that they want to do this, want to do that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Try until you feel like you know what you're doing, until you find your niche. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But what I feel like is, just from the things I hear, I think seen people share my stuff and said, this, that, and third. I feel like, we gotta. I'm not gonna say I don't want to be compared to everybody, because I don't compare myself to nobody else. I just compare to myself to whatever I'm doing, and I try to get better at it, and I just go from there. However, I also don't say we a lot, so I wouldn't be like, oh, we as podcasters, because I don't look at everything as we. I look at what I'm doing as what I'm doing. I look at what somebody else doing, what somebody else doing. I don't feel like nobody is gonna do what I'm doing, how I'm doing it. Just like I don't want to do what nobody else is doing, how they're doing it. And that can be taken however it want to be taken. That's just how I feel. I don't feel like I sit in this camera and I got this all this stuff going on. I don't feel like anybody else is doing that. And anything anybody else is doing, I don't want to do. Like, I don't want to imitate this. I don't want to have that type of content. I don't want to have that type of podcast. I don't want to have those type of topics. I don't want to, have a very mundane show. I like what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, and I want to continue to do it that way, right? It's nobody that I want to emulate or imitate at all. Like, at all. Like, I like to do my own thing. That's why I try different things. To think, this is brand new. I'm trying it just because to try it. This ain't nothing like I've ever been doing. I've always done interview style stuff, but in the past year I've changed it up because you gotta elevate. You gotta grow. You gotta elevate. You gotta grow. I needed it. It was therapeutic for me. It worked out. People liked it, but I did that on my own. I didn't do that with. I didn't have nobody in my ear, or I didn't have no blueprint to look at and say, damn, I could do this. I just started doing it. I'm in a damn garage right now. I don't know who else. I don't watch a lot of podcasts, but I don't know who else podcasting in their garage. It's not even clean. Like, it's just, I got records, pictures. It's a picture of me right there, by the way. My little sister right there. It's I got a bunch of stuff. Like, I'm just trial and error. I'm doing my own thing. I'm found my niche. As long as I got the camera and the microphone and I got good audio, I'm good. Put me anywhere, I'm good. Like, I'm battle tested for this. And that's kind of what I be getting at when I'm saying, like, why you can't be saying like we. Like, it's the we word is kind of like, it's not to distance myself from somebody saying like, oh, it's me and then it's y'all. No, it's you, then it's that person, then it's that person, then it's that person, then it's me, then it's this person. Like, I feel like everybody could be different. I don't want to box myself in with nobody else. I don't want to box themselves with me. We all do this thing called podcasting, but we all do it differently. We all approach it differently. We all feel differently about it. You know, I love, this is like a passion of mine right now. Like, this has became a passion. It started out as me just wanting to do something, but I've always, from the get go, like, I've liked it so much that I consume myself with this. I had consumed myself with it. I'm staying up late, losing hours of sleep, editing my own stuff. At the time, it wasn't videos. I'm doing mad audio. I'm just doing audios out of audios. I'm calling people. I'm testing stuff out. I'm buying equipment every week, every chance I get. I was like a backpack rapper, like them people that rap in the beginning. They follow them DJs. They go in the club. They trying to rap, trying to be in ciphers and stuff like that. I think that was me trying to pod. I was trying to podcast anyway. I don't care. So it's not uncommon for me to feel like I'm in a garage on podcasting. My very first episode that I ever recorded was in this house. Well, in this house, in another section of his house, and I didn't care about that. I just wanted to make sure the audio was fine. You know what I'm saying? I record anyway. I recorded in hotels. I recorded on planes. I recorded in schools. I recorded in cars. I recorded outside. I recorded inside. I don't care. I record anywhere. I feel like I'm tested. And like I said, I don't have the privilege of, calling somebody and saying, hey, yo, I'm going to just pay you 40 or I'm going to pay you XYZ, and just give me back the audio. I had to do all of that. Every step of the way. Like, any step you think of in podcasting, I had to take. I had to do. So if it's buying the equipment, I had to do that. If it's learning the equipment, I had to do that. If it's using the equipment, I had to do that. Traveling with the equipment, I had to do that. Breaking down equipment, I got to do that. Setting up equipment, I got to do that. Plugging up equipment, I got to do that. Making sure it's working while you're recording, I got to do that. Still record, I got to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, make sure the conversation going smooth, I got to do that. After it's be done, break down the equipment, whatever, I gotta do that. Take the equipment home, get it home safely, I gotta do that. Upload the equipment, I gotta do that. Edit the equipment, I gotta do that. Put it out, I gotta do that. Make sure the audio and stuff right, I gotta do that. Like, it's nothing I can pass off to somebody and say, hey, I'm just throw you this, just send that back to me. It's not a thing. Like, it's not a thing. Like that, I never had that privilege to be like, yo, I'm gonna just pay you XYZ and you just make sure you get that back to me. And I never wanted to. You can ask Slim. When he even filmed for me, when he started to film for me, he's never edited a video for me. Like, I've always edited my own videos from the very beginning. He showed me how to do. I went and bought this $100 equipment that I didn't know how to use. Once again, he'll tell you my first episode he shot for me. I think it was Wayne, if I am mistaken. It was Wayne Fryer. He shot it for me. He filmed it for me. I went and bought a editing software. I stayed in the studio all night until I got it right, and he can vouch for that. The privilege thing is not a thing. So when people say we get overlooked, or nah, it's not a we. I don't want to be mixed with that, because Maine then did it Maine way, no pun intended. Maine did it Maine way for a minute. You know what I'm saying? I don't have the privilege. I never had privilege. You know what I'm saying? Never had privilege. I've always been hands on from point A to Z of all my projects, all my everything. I'm always super involved. I don't, and I'm not. It's not to say that you can't go ahead, because shout out to Slim. You know what I'm saying? He do his thing. He going produce. I'm gonna send people to they get theirs produced. Ain't nothing wrong with that. All I'm saying, that's a privilege now. It's not. It wasn't always around, and it's probably not fair to really compare people that got the privilege that didn't have it. That had to, like, I'm not gonna compare somebody who DJ back in the day and just know how to DJ now, that can DJ any turntable and all that stuff. I'm not gonna compare them to a DJ who only could DJ on certain systems, only could do certain type of things, or only could make a playlist and hit play and that's his DJ. I'm not gonna compare them two because one is obviously way more seasoned than the other, to say the least. Not saying they have to be better, but they more seasoned. So if something happens, something Swag said on my podcast last time, like, you got DJs who don't know what to do when the lights go out, or don't know what to do if a fight break out, don't know what to do if this happen. So I wouldn't put them in the same category. Yeah, you might can DJ better than that person. They're probably a podcaster in the world, in the city, whatever you want to put at five, probably two doors down that can speak better than me. I stutter. They might speak better than me, right? But it's about how you react to things. I think that's how you get great. That's how you react to things. You know what I'm saying? Like when the guest ain't being the guest you think they're gonna be. Are you making up for that somewhere? When there's a lot of dead space, are you picking up on that? Are you gonna be able to make sure that it's no dead air? Are you keeping the competition going? Like it's like if the camera stopped, can you delete the footage and make sure it's more memory on the camera for the memory card? If the audio ain't recording, well, you know that. It's a lot of stuff, like I said, that I just feel like, for me, I didn't have the privilege of the things people have now. And it's nothing wrong with that. You can have a good product and you can pay for it because that's what it's for. Pay for it. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But at the end of the day, I don't want to be, I don't want to hear this we stuff when it comes to that. Like, I want everybody to do their own thing and do what they're doing. Like, if you paying for a service and you getting your podcast produced, there's nothing wrong with that. That is amazing. That's great. That's still good. And and most people have a great product. Got a great product. Like I'm not taking that from nobody. You got a great product. That is dope. Keep that. You know what I'm saying? Keep that as a product. I'm trying to see what time I'm at. I was gonna talk about other stuff, but I can't talk about it now. 26 minutes in, be good. But my thing with that is like, it's I'm not saying it's a bad thing that it's privilege there. I just never had the privilege, and that's want to make sure that's conveyed in this message. Like, so if it's a award or something like that, and somebody say, this person vote for that person, vote for that person. Do I care about the awards? No. But what I do care about is when there are people that's accepted or that's picked for a nomination or that's thought about for awards, and then you got people saying, well, they should be there. And that's when, not saying that I'm better or this person's better or that person's better, but it's like, when you say you should be there, what are you really saying? Because do you feel like we should be in this, in the same thought of the same when I've done what I've done and you haven't been doing it that long, or maybe you haven't done what I've done, I don't know. But that's kind of where I be at with stuff like that, like I don't know, like when you say something like that, it sound kind of weird, but it ain't no issues. Like I'm always gonna support everybody's show, everybody's podcast, whether it's good or bad. I don't care. I'm gonna share it. I'll put it on my story. I'll watch it. I like it. I comment on it. I don't care. 'Cause I feel like podcasting is one of them things where one week you could be great, one week you could not be great, one week you could be mediocre, one week you could be super funny, one week you could be super serious. It's all a week by week basis. You know what I'm saying? People might not perceive this too well, but the next one they might love. It happens. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, for me, I just feel like, like I said, I'm not into the privilege stuff like that. I've got it through the muscle from the ground zero, building everything up. So yeah, I'm not gonna take offense to it, but at the same time, I'm not gonna be in agreement with the fact that someone can think like, well, we don't speak French to me, cause Maine do what Maine do, and everybody else do what everybody else do. And I'm not saying it's Maine versus this, but that entity does what that person does, that podcast does what that person does, and I'll say names. Slim does what Slim do, Ken do what Ken do, Maine do what Maine do, Mo do what Mo do, Shay Good do what Shay Good do, Dorian do what Dorian do, like the Boom Bat podcast do what the Boom Bat podcast do. We all do our own thing, right? And we respect one another. We all do our own thing, but I don't think nobody does the same thing. And I don't think either one of them look at it like I do what he do, or I do it. No, we don't do that. Like I just do what I do, and they do what they do. And we all do it differently, and we all respect each other, and that's that. But yeah, man, I've been doing this, I've been doing it, you know what I'm saying, and I'm decorated, and at least in this field, it's a lot of things I'm not decorated in, but this one, I'm decorated in, and the last thing is, I'll just end it here, like I said, this is something I love, I am engulfed in, you know what I'm saying, I'm I'm deep in, 2 feet in with this. You got people, both feet planted. I love it. I'm overjoyed by it. Like that's like I said, it's time is it right now? It's 12 something. Yeah, I gotta work tomorrow. I gotta take my kids to school in the morning. I love doing this. This is like my thing. I love to do this. Right? You got people who are just part time with it. I'm part time with it, but not really. I'm full. I got full. I got every job I got is full time to me. I'm a full time worker, full time parent. And then a full time podcast. I take this serious. But you got people who it's a hobby to them. And it's not wrong. I can't tell you not to have a hobby. I'm not gonna tell anybody why you hobbying for. I love it. Don't do it because you're a hobby. No, I'm not saying that. But you know, I would be. I would want to rethink what I'm doing if I took this as serious. If I'm taking this as serious, I'm taking this right. Taking this super serious. I love doing this. It's like a passion for me. Imagine being passionate at something, right? I would rethink it if me being passionate at something and someone else that's a hobby could just feel like we the same. That to me, everybody might feel different about that, but to me, if you look at this as just a hobby, that's something to do my spare time, that's whatever. I think about podcasting all day. I'm like, yo, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do that. Of course, I can't get everything I want to do done, but I love it that much, right? I travel all my stuff. You never know. I might be in Aiken. I want to do a podcast. Might be somewhere. I might do a podcast. I want to have it on the go. I got equipment everywhere for those reasons, right? I would. I would rethink this if I feel like somebody who just, you know, clocks in for 90 minutes, talks, goes home, and then can just get footage. They pay the money to just get footage one day, or get it uploaded for them. Some people don't upload their own footage. You know what I'm saying? And don't put the same amount of effort and work into it. The podcast as I do, and I feel like we was on the same plateau, same level. We had the same type of content. It was hitting the same. I would rethink everything I'm doing because something's wrong. Because I mean, my thing is even like the day I'm doing a podcast, how I approach it is gonna be one way. I had a guest on the other day, and he got to see. He might be the only person I feel like ever seen me do a thinking out loud and been in the room. I don't think nobody else had ever been in the room with me when I do thinking out loud, right? We did his podcast. We swapped sides, like you come here, da da da, boom. We talking, boom. I hit replay, and I just go. And he'll tell you, I just go. Like you can get an account from me. I just go. We didn't have nothing written down. There was no real talking about it. We gonna go. We gonna talk. Boom. Knock it out. It was a dope episode. I feel like. But what I'm getting at is, you know, the way I approach it. I was in the studio all day that day. It's my off day. I'm in the studio all day. I'm just, thinking the way I'm like a rapper, just in the studio listening to beats. I might listen to beats, but I'm like, okay, talk about this. Maybe I can do that. I might can do this angle. Try this lighting. You know what I'm saying? That's me, right? That's me, and I'm saying that to say like, some people are so privileged they don't have to do that at all. They ain't gotta think about anything. They ain't gotta think about, damn, I wonder if this lighting gonna look good, or damn, I wonder if that angle gonna work. Damn, I wonder if I'm gonna have enough space to edit that and do that. I wonder if I'm having time. Y'all ain't gotta think about that sometimes. Like some people just really come up, show up, pop up, sit on it, sit on the chair. I ain't gonna say sit on the ass because that's not disrespectful. Sit in the chair, ramble, stop, dap the person up, go home, and they get their footage, whatever, and they put it out. That's one way. That's one way people podcast. I'm only assuming it based off what I've seen. You know what I'm saying? Based off what I hear. I produce, so I know how that go. He would show up, be talking, whatever, get in that mood, boom, boom, boom. Are you ready, man? Hit record. They start talking. They doing their thing. Good conversation, maybe not, whatever. Cool. I stop it. It's done. All right, just they send me the money. Just let me know when you put the episode out. Email me. All right, cool. Email the episode. Cool. Damn, worry about nothing. If they, damn, did I smile too? Did I laugh? Did I laugh too loud? Did I hold the mic right? Damn, did they catch when I said this? Did I overtalk somebody? They ain't thinking about none of that stuff at all. Like they don't have to think about that. They just paying the money and they going. Like I would rethink everything I'm doing if I feel like anybody like that. Like we not that it's wrong or that it's bad. And I'm not gonna keep saying that because somebody feel that way. They just feel that way. I don't care. But I'm saying that to say like I would be remiss if that could be what I'm doing when I'm putting in all that time and effort, which it happens. You got some people who don't have it, just ain't got it. They're gonna put a lot of time in, and somebody else can come and put this a substantial amount of a substantial less amount of time and get more done. That's fine. But for me, somebody who loves what they're doing, I love this. Like I want to get better and better every day. I try to get better and better every day, every episode, every time I can. Um, it wouldn't work for me. I wouldn't take that. Since I started podcasting, when other podcasts was coming out, or if I heard another show, if I had a guest on and they had an interview, I listened to it. I want to have the best interview. Like my competitive nature, amongst what I'm doing, I want people to sit down with me and be like, damn, I can see why people like sitting down with you. I like that. I'm not competing with another podcast, another entity, but I want people to feel like, oh, this is the place to be. That's that's my feeling. I don't do it just cause to make a video. I don't be like, damn, I look good there. Let me get on camera. No, I do look good, a little bit, right? And I be on camera, but that's not why I'm doing it. I don't do it. I don't do it for those reasons. Um, I don't sit there and look at myself like, damn, I look good there. Let me go get on camera. Nah, it's just the fact that I'm on camera and I happen to be nice on the eyes a little bit sometimes, right? And I'm just going with the flow. I'm talking and I'm doing my thing, but I don't do it for clips. I don't do it for nothing like that. Like I said, I never wanted to do video. Slim taught me into it. We started working and doing that. But you got to evolve with the game. The game started to be video. So I started to do video. I'm saying all this to say, like I said, it's more to talk my story and how I feel. I'm just kind of thinking out loud because when you hear murmurs and whispers and talks of things like, you know, you can, somebody could say mine is boring, somebody could say somebody else is boring, this is that, and that's fine. It's all subjective. I don't care. But you're not going to overlook the amount of work that's being put in behind the scenes, in front of the scenes. Like right now, it's all me. I ain't got the privilege of saying, hey, come record my stuff. Has my stuff been recorded? Yes, but I'm telling you, man, I take privilege away all the time. So let me tell you, I'm on my own camera. He let me know what to do. I'm like, cool, I do that. I'm doing my own thing. Like I don't see it. I guess I don't see. I just don't see it. I don't see how I like somebody could really think that it's a community of people as, oh, we all the same. No, we're not the same. But I'm not saying that I'm better or this person's better, because like I said, that podcast and stuff is all subjective. Which one you like is best. I want everybody to like all of ours. All I'm saying is, when you want when you doing stuff from A to Z and you need letter K, some people ain't made it to letter K yet, so they don't know how to get to the next letter. And I'm the guy you would call for that. Slim is the guy you would call for that. So shout out to Slim, by the way. A dope thing with him is, not only is he, because it was one of the categories I think he was in there. Not only is he in that category, but podcast that he produced is in that category. So imagine that. It's like, how like people be like, oh, you won for single of the year, but you also on that single, you also on that single. That's how I look at it. So shout out to him for like he getting his own on there, but then the other two more, I think it's two more that he produced is on there. So that's dope. That's what I'm talking about, man. Like that's not he's not a privileged person. Like he's the privilege. You know what I'm saying? Like that's another thing. He's the privilege. So it also wasn't no fan bases, wasn't no audiences at the time, so I couldn't just get somebody on. The first person I had on that had an audience, a real, like, if being for real, besides my brother, of course, besides my little brother, the first person I had on had an audience was probably Kim Macon. I had been doing it for a year at that time. That was the first person I could say had his own thing going on. So when he came on, blossomed. But yeah, I know I rambled too much, man. I went, what's this, 39 minutes? Yeah, I'm passionate about this podcasting thing, so when I hear and see things, it kind of it bothers me a little bit. But anything I'm saying, it's might feel a way about it. I prefer you message me, honestly. Just message me. I feel like I was respectful the whole episode. So as long as we don't like get in a disrespectful way, it's all good. I'm willing to hear anybody's opinion. I'm willing to talk to anybody. We could do a thing out loud, and you sit right here. I'm talking any other podcasters that might feel away, whatever. But I just feel like um, there are privileges out there, and I just don't want people to, it's one thing to be upset, by not being picked here and picked there. That's fine. It's emotions. I get it. But to start talking and saying, oh, well, this and that, like that's when you start breaking down mechanics. And I start breaking down mechanics. I'm telling you, I go back. This is, been doing this. I'm telling you, it wasn't always on camera. I've been doing this for a while. A few of us have rather, and I think I know a little something about what I'm doing. I think it just shows I put the work in. And last thing I'm in here. This is for real. If I know Slim said last time, he said, "Yeah, man, you was talking on your pod, and it kind of sounded like you were saying like, yo, you just gotta work harder, man." And he's like, "Nobody want to hear that sometimes. Man, what I will say is this: we agree on some things though. What I say is this though, right? And shout out to my guy Slim. What I say is this though: if I'm telling you, or if I'm saying something, and you feel like, damn, like I'm working hard. What you mean work harder? If that's your thought process, and you feel like, damn, like this, he's kind of tough. Like he's saying to work harder. I feel like I'm working hard. I still didn't get picked for this, or I feel like I'm here and I'm doing this. I'm crossing this. I'm doing this, and I'm still not getting recognized. Then only thing I can tell you is, you know, you ain't working as hard as you think you're working. That's all that means. And it's not. I'm not dissing you. I'm not trying to belittle anybody. I'm not trying to be funny. But a lot of times people think that they're working extremely hard. They think they're working. I'm a manager where I work here, bro. Like I see people feel like sometimes they should get promoted. I see people every day feel like they should get paid more money. And I'm a realist with them, so I ain't gonna be less than on camera, especially in real life. Right? Ain't no HR for this. It's my own thing. I ain't got no HR. So I want to say, a lot of times people will feel like they deserve more and more money, more recognition. They deserve to get looked or deserve to get awarded. You know what I'm saying? Deserve to get recognized for things. And like I said, when it don't happen and it's not happening, a lot of times it's because you're not doing as great of a job that you think you're doing, and that's just the truth. I ain't saying to be an asshole. I ain't saying to be funny. Like what you going off of could be something so left field from what it is. It could be that. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just being for real. And that go anything. It's not just a podcasting thing. It's not just a Augusta Award show thing. It's not just. It's anything. It's in life. You know what I'm saying? You can think that you cleaning the house good enough, but you ain't getting enough allowance. You probably not cleaning the house good enough. Who knows? You think you studying hard enough, but you ain't getting the highest score on the test. You probably not putting enough hours in your books. You think you're supposed to start in this basketball team because you better than this person. Maybe you're not better than that person. Maybe you're not better than that person. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you're not putting the work that person putting in. That's why you're not starting. All right? And it's in all walks of life. A lot of times we think we're doing more for whatever reason. I don't know if you're comparing it to somebody else. I ain't that person. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think I'm getting my just due everywhere I'm at. Like I get my just due everywhere I'm at. If I don't feel like I am, then you know what I always did? I always worked harder. I ain't trying to be funny. I always just worked harder. If I felt like I wasn't getting recognition, I work harder. If I felt like somebody else is getting recognition I'm getting, or getting close in recognition, I'm being competitive, I worked harder to separate myself. I've always done that. I'm be honest with you. I'm not saying this just as a manager. I'm not saying this as a corporate person. I'm saying this for real. All my life. I've always done that. All my life. All my life. I remember one time, this is funny, right? I took that personal. I played ball with my brother. Um and I feel like he was getting real good. He was getting real good to where he was like, he kind of was sticking with me, right? I just got better. I just started doing other stuff I know he couldn't do at the time. I got better, killed him, no problem. Like that's just how that's always. I grew up competitive. That's how it always is. So when I'm saying stuff, I'm not saying it to make somebody still feel bad, but it's really to motivate. I'm not saying, oh, you suck, just get better. I'm not saying it that way. Hell no. Some people are. You could be good, and then it's just people around you that's better. That's just better. But you can get better than that person or those people or those entities, whatever. Or you could just find your niche, and then you can get better. Sometimes it's not about what you can do individually, or you just doing better than that person. I think that'd be the problem. The problem be the problem be comparison. They say comparison is the thief of joy. So when people say, "Oh, I recognize this person," I like this person, I like this person. Naturally, when a person don't say, "Oh, I like you," and they don't say like they don't say, "I like you." That person, whoever you is, whoever that is, and whatever that is, I don't care. I ain't gonna get into specifics, whatever that is. That person start thinking like, "Well, you like this person, you like that person, but you don't like us. You don't like me." It's kind of crazy But now your joy is stolen from you. You mad now. You don't know why you mad. You just mad. You don't know why I like these people. You don't know what it is about that person he likes or she likes. What it is about that person they like. You just upset them like you, and you're comparing yourself to these people now. And in some instances, you shouldn't. At least when it comes, I ain't gonna get to that. At least when it comes to certain things. That's all I'm saying. Like it's just that simple. Like that's a thief of joy. So don't look at it as like, damn, this person they recognize this person, this person, this person, this person, this person, but not me. You can't think like that. You can't think like that. You can't. You just can't. You just gotta keep working and just go from there. Like I said, I don't judge people off anything but how to react to certain things. That's when you get the real how you react to it. And like I said, people be showing their true colors sometimes, man. You know. But another thing out loud, man. I went a little longer than I wanted to, but like I said, something I love. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got the privilege. I ain't on time limit, man. I don't pay somebody for a time slot. I can go as long as I want to go, as short as I want to go. It is what it is. Just because, you know, I don't do the privilege thing. But I would commend anybody that's doing podcasting. Like, it's amazing. I think we at a good space right now. At least for me, what I see, I like everything I'm seeing. Um, just keep putting in work in, keep doing it. Stay true to the craft. Uh, keep um, keep trying to reinvent yourself every week. And when something works, keep trying to get and perfect it and make it your niche. Um, I have no ill will towards anybody from when it comes to podcasting. If you call me, I'm gonna probably pick up. I love to help people, so I'm a helper. I love to help. If you want to have a conversation, I want to have the conversation. Just want to keep respectful. I feel like everything I said here is respectful. It's just my thoughts. Y'all free to do your own thinking aloud if y'all want to. You know what I'm saying? Tag me in it. I'll watch a little bit of it. We'll go from there. But um, without all that being said, man, nothing aloud, man. I'm about to sit down, probably edit this, put it out. Why not, right? It's 12 o'clock in the morning. Um, but like I said, I'm not on a time limit. So once I hit end record, I could just go ahead in the room and start getting to work because I'm passionate about this. That's what I do. Everybody can't say the same thing. More Master Podcast be out.